why did you want to join the program? What sparked your interest in it? And what piqued your interest in the program as a whole?
Absolutely. I honestly didn't know anything about the program until a couple of my mentors that I'm lucky enough to call my close friends,
Hmm.
they participated in it the year before I did. And they were telling me about it. I was lucky enough to sit next to Sydney Ullman in some of my classes, and she, of course, won Distinguished Young Woman of Washington in 2024. And she told me everything about it, all that she had learned, all the skills that she had gained, and it just seemed wonderful. And it ended up being one of the best decisions of my high school career. So,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's pretty much the consensus from everybody that I've talked to. It's hearsay. That's how they're hearing about it, which is obviously good. We want positive feedback. Um,
mhm.
but you never know how people are interpreting the program, how they're experiencing it firsthand. Have you talked to her since she competed at nationals?
Yes, and she told me all about it. And she was actually by my side the whole time during my state competition, which made me feel great because she
Right.
had gone through it all. And she was, again, just a massive mentor to me.
Awesome. Well, we love to hear that. I'm glad it's been a positive experience for her and now passing that on to you. And speaking of which, now that you are the state representative, what does that mean to you? What do you hope to gain from this new found title?
Well, I honestly still don't believe it. When people are like, congratulations, I'm like, I still don't believe that that happened. It's so incredible. One thing that I hope to do is something that Sydney Ullman had done in the past, but I'd like to do it on a wider level. She went around and talked to the younger children in our school district. We live in a very small town, and so our whole school district is on one campus. And she went around to some of the younger kids and gave a Be Your Best Self presentation, and a goal of mine is to maybe spread that further around my whole county and spread the word even farther and maybe even open more programs because the program that I'm a part of was the one held the next town over. So it'd be cool to have a Cleellum program, which is my town.
Yeah, and that's another thing that we are hoping will sort of drive engagement with is getting volunteers excited about the program too, so that they can help create and curate that local level because that's where it all begins and stems from. Because you can't get to nationals without having sort of that start.
Absolutely.
Um, so very cool. And this year we're trying to use the phrase ripple effect. Um, because it just symbolizes so much. Just one little small gesture can make such a big difference in so many different elements in the program, in your life. And it could be, taken from the standpoint of you, a participant, or from one of our volunteers who maybe they just volunteered on the Saturday of the program, but it couldn't have happened without that one volunteer. So, and then of course it'll reach to our sponsors and one small donation, how big of an impact that makes. So that one small gesture or donation again can make such a big impact. How do you suggest that we use this message to get more people involved in the program?
Absolutely. Well, and like how I got introduced to it, it was word of mouth, it was hearsay. And that is such a huge tool, is spreading a positive word, because I had no idea about the program until people told me about it. And that's how I think we're going to make the biggest difference is telling other people, people who we think would thrive in the program, and they spread the word. Telling volunteers in the community who are already involved with other programs and getting them involved and educated on this wonderful program, and they can share with other volunteers.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the goal, right? We just want more people involved at every level or every tier of the program, whether it is a participant, a volunteer who may, did this 20 years ago.
Mhm.
And they just want to give back because of what it meant to them when they went through the program. This is sort of a full circle moment for me because I did the local program and now I work at the national office. So it's really cool to see how it all kind of shapes together, and it's obviously on a greater scale at the national level, um, but all the same message, which is be your best self. And there are so many ways that we can be our best self. And we have, those 5 tiers of the program. Is there a way that you feel you are being your best self, or maybe ways that you're striving to be your best self? Maybe you're like, man, I really could do better at doing my homework every day, or whatever the case is. Um, what are you doing to make sure you are being your best self?
I always say that I think every tier is connected to being ambitious. If you have an ambition to be healthy, you're going to be healthy. If you have an ambition to be involved, you're going to be involved. And so I think, personally, I feel I have a very good level of ambition to do my best and be my